Welcome to the Vibe Dialogue, a podcast for creatives. This is episode number 4 of my interviews with Squid Game's The Challenge Season 2 players. I am fortunate to be joined by player 410, Isiah, also known as Zeke, and we get into a whole bunch of awesome topics focusing on music, the clapping, and also his personal story through music. I hope you sit back and enjoy this episode and get to know Isiah. Welcome to the Vibe Dialogue. It's a podcast for creatives, and we're touching a lot of stuff, talking about a lot of cool things for artists, but also focusing on my time in Squid Game's The Challenge Season 2 with an incredible musician and artist that just so happened to make it really far. Today we're joined by Isiah BrooksPlayer 410 from Squid Game's The Challenge.
What's up?
Man, what amazing human. I'm so stoked I got to meet you for as long as I did. I obviously wasn't there as long as you were there, but I feel like we kind of had a lifelong bond from the very beginning.
Definitely, man.
Yeah, it's so I have a couple questions, and we'll talk about that moment and stuff. But the main one, the very first one, just the obvious one, is why did you sign up for Squid Games? Why?
Man, so initially, and shout out to you, first of all, we linked up in there, artist to artist. We was on that. It was great meeting you in there, but I got into it, man, just to further boost my artistry, man. So as a hip hop artist, as a producer, life is all about side quests and taking those side quests, and side quests help elevate what you're trying to do. So I'm trying to get my name out there. I'm trying to get my brand out there, just trying to get my stuff off. And Squid Game falls in line with things I love. I love the drama series. I love the challenge. It's not like No Love Island or nothing crazy like that. So I'm this aligns with the brand. So it's a safe play. So I had to go for that.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, I kind of feel the same way. I also like games, so I was yeah, I'm down. I love games,
Yeah.
And it is a great way to bring people to around your world, and hopefully they can get to know you further than just what you were there, because there's so much more depth, and they don't really go into the depth of the artistry of the human. They tend to focus on the drama of the game rather than or something that happened in your life that's traumatic, rather than what are you doing that's beautiful, so
Right.
so hopefully we can touch on that a little bit. But how has Squid Games affected you emotionally? Do you have trauma from it, or is it all good?
Well, it's all good. I'll definitely say the general consensus is it's all good. I loved it. I had a great time. I would gladly do it again, that type of thing. But however, there's definitely some trauma, because there's some backstabbing, there's the lying element, there's the competitive edge element. There's a lot of these things that I think for some people are more triggering than others. But for me personally, yeah, there's a little bit of trauma there. Some games and moments worse than others. Definitely.
Yeah. Do you find yourself thinking about it and getting anxiety or anything like that? Or
No, I've made my peace with it, Jesse. Honestly, my placement, everything that happened on the show, the outcome, I've made peace with all that. But, I definitely think about, certain conversations. I find myself gravitating back towards those conversations I had that I'm oh, maybe if I had changed that word around, or, oh, maybe if I had heard it this way, things like that. But nothing that causes any anxiety, it doesn't affect my day. It's just, I'm damn, if I had said it this way, maybe, things like that. So
you don't lose sleep over it?
oh no, I'm sleeping, brother. I overslept this morning.
I know, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
there was a whole thing. So yeah.
That's funny, because I thought I wasn't in there as long as you were. That one moment that I got out, I relive that too often, and I don't want to. It's just what. So I talked to a few people. They said after they got out, the first week they were kind of just a little bit zombie. Were you
Yeah,
were you like that? or did you
No,
just get right back into it?
so I had no choice but to essentially get right back into it. However, my exit wasn't necessarily a zombie exit, traumatic as it was or bad as it was. I feel like those ones where it's completely out of your hands, like the catch game, like the ball being
Mhm.
underthrown,
Yeah.
or the counting game, even where
Yeah.
you have no say. You're one of the 200 that aren't doing anything but
Yeah.
waiting.
That's
Like
right.
those are traumatic exits, man. So my exit wasn't really like that.
Yeah.
I just jumped right back into my regular stuff, man. And
Yeah.
life goes on, life moves
Yeah.
forward. So
Yeah, that means you have a really strong constitution. That's great. I was just curious because I was like, man, I wonder, like, because you were in there for a while. If it was like, because it is like they do mess with you. They mess with you.
oh yeah, every moment, every
Yeah.
waking moment is a test.
Yeah. So okay, let's because of what I want to focus on the most, but I want to talk a little bit. But let's start like at the very beginning. Obviously, like you're making relationships with people even before you get on the show. That's just by the nature. There's no way they can split everyone up and be like, cool, all you different individuals now you're together, right? So they have to group you up in different colors and things like that. We weren't the same color group, but once we get there, we're all essentially in the dorms together. We get all dropped in there, and everyone's speculating whatever game it's going to be. And of course, it ends on this counting game. What is your recollection of when they announced the game? Like, tell me, like, you describe that story because it's not told on it's not told, but I want to hear how you describe, like, from once they announced the game to when we win.
Yeah, man. So being in that room, we're divvied up between the 456 of us. It's split down the middle. They announced that the counting game is occurring, and then they essentially explain, we're counting about what, 7.5 minutes, if you will. And so my mind immediately jumps to how are we going to agree on how to do this? And I think that's where everyone's mind went. But I kept my mouth shut, but I hear chatter, talking, stress. And I feel like it was that way in both rooms. So in my mind, I'm like, if we can get everyone to quiet down, then maybe, just maybe we'll figure it out. So I'm like raising my hands. You can see me kind of like trying to calm the storm here, but no one's getting through. But shout out to John T. As crazy as he was with the fake crying and all that
Yeah.
stuff, he really got people to quiet down. That part was real, and it
Yeah.
definitely saved us. So,
Yeah.
so from then on, we did what we did, man. It was absolutely insane.
Yeah, so I mean, and that's something that a lot of people don't get, and a lot of people that are not musical get. Like, I mean, obviously, like I came up there, and it was a few of us. There's five of us basically, like, but came up there, and I was like, "Hey, I know this BPM's like the back of my hand.
Yeah.
I play Wish You Were Here all the time, and I sent you that track. I released that track actually just because of that. I was inspired by that. But I play that all the time. I teach it, and I also have a track of that. Like, I got this. And we were like, okay, so we need someone counting, right?
Yeah.
This person here happens to be a hip hop musician. And then Michael was involved, and they give Michael all the credit, but that's kind of like because he's it was the drama, but that's not how it went, right? All of us were like, hey, this is a plan. And I've like, I think what was great about it is that you were so in rhythm with the clapping, the way that you spoke the numbers, that it locked us into a groove, which, like, I thought was like, you couldn't tell. They didn't give you enough of that, but like we were like in the pocket. And the reason why we were in the pocket was because of you being a big part of that, because of how you were speaking the numbers, which I thought was like the coolest shit ever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Dude, yeah,
yeah,
it was
yeah,
insane. And so to kind of complement that with the numbers and stuff, so I know rhythm very well, as like you guys. You guys are a little bit more fine tuned because you play instruments so much better than me. But like, BPM and is everything, like in beat creation and just keeping that tempo going. And it felt like a song. But the crazy thing I want to say is with the counting, man, when we got to, I want to say like 185, 186, that's a lot of syllables. So eventually it was like this unspoken move to drop the 100 part.
Totally.
And like we did that, and
Yeah.
shout out to Taylor and Olabenga, because while you guys did
Yep.
that, they kind of kept me in line with the numbers.
Yep.
So that was an unspoken move, and like you don't hear it, you don't really see it, but we kept doing it, man, and we just shortened that syllable count, and that allowed me to keep the rhythm.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think even there was 2 times where I felt that we were rushing, and I was like, "Hey, we got to pull that back."
Yeah,
Right? Like, "Hey, we're rushing. Let's pull that back."
crazy.
And we, and a lot of people don't know this, on the we said we're going to stop 2 seconds short, right?
Facts. We said that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because and they didn't say, well, if the tie goes to the winner who's under. So they gave us the rules, but then no one was, they never played the rules, the complete rules on the show. So
Right.
essentially we nailed that 100% perfectly. I don't know many musicians that can go count at 60 beats per minute under the most highest stressful situation and be perfect after 700 or 7.5 minutes long. It's almost impossible.
That's maddening to think. Like I never
Yeah.
really thought of it that way. Like we really were 100%. Like two more. Like what's two more? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so they don't, no one knows that story. Hopefully we're telling that story now because it's so cool. And it's,
Absolutely.
from a musical perspective, this is something that just only the elite of the elite can do. And so man, like if we can get that out. And so, and I really, I'm excited to talk to Olabenga too, because what a cool human that person was. And it's just like, we just had this synergy of really great humans that came together and made one person a millionaire.
I swear, like changed their life forever.
Yeah. Yeah. And it all happened because of us. And it never in this show has that ever happened where one person was responsible for making someone a millionaire. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like in Red Light, Green Light,
That's
it's just,
deep.
yeah. And it's and I wish they would have got deeper into that, but it's not a drama as much as it is an inspirational story, and so it's harder to tell that, in that sense. It's easier to give you the drama. But anyways, I just wanted to highlight how important it was that you were a part of that, because that got looked over. And dude, people said they were dancing, they were grooving, people were just moving and grooving to the, you know what I'm saying?
You can feel it, and you can somewhat see it. Like even the twin is nodding his head like a beat.
Totally.
And it just felt like you can just feel it. So amazing, man.
It was amazing. And
this is why we do what we do, man.
I know. And then from that point on, it's I just felt connected to you the whole time. And we didn't hang out all the time in the dorms. You're just getting to know people. But we were, before I left, you're like, this is my Instagram handle. We're going to remember it,
Yep.
We're going to find each other. Funny enough, actually, talking to the people in Storm, Steven, I was playing a show in Phoenix and Steven showed up at my gig because I told him, I was I'm like, dude, I'm playing a show in Phoenix. I'll be there. And it was just a couple months later, so he remembered and he showed up at my gig and he was there. And he said, you can't tell anybody, but I made it really far, so.
Right. Shout out to him. He's a genuine guy. I love Steve to death.
They really did make him out like a villain, but he's just a gamer, he's just playing the game,
That's why I said what I said, because they do what they do. TV's got to do what TV does. So, but he's a great guy. He deserves to go as far as he's gotten. So
yeah, exactly.
Human.
Man, I was pulling for you, and it's so funny too, because you gave everyone a piece of cake. You didn't have to do that shit.
Nah, not at all. But that's who I am.
Yeah, yeah. And then people some people they didn't trust you, they had that on there or whatever. And I was like, I mean, you can't trust anyone in that game if it comes down to you or me, right? But you're a trustworthy, good person. But I mean, if you got to play the game, you got to play the game, right? And pretty much everyone was, right? So it's It's just funny how they play that off. But okay, so whatever. So I want to talk a little bit about you as like what creative things are you doing? So you're an artist. You want to make this like this. Hopefully, the show like gets people to know about you as a musician and you as an artist.
Right.
Like,
Right.
do you have like releases out there? Can people like find you online? Like, where would they go?
Absolutely. So my Instagram handle is ZeekFR. That's XEEKFR. And then my artist name is Zeke, XEEK exclamation point. I'm the only one spelled that way. Impossible to not find me. I actually released my theme song 410 based on my number the day the show dropped. Self-produced
Sick.
beat. I sample Squid Games, like the theme song. It all connects. So start there, work your way back, and let me know what you love. So yeah,
Awesome.
Zeke.
So
Yeah.
the music, like how do you describe your music? Like what's like yeah, give me like insight on like what your
Um,
branding is.
yeah, so kind of my brand is I like real dystopian vibes. I usually pick beats that are just like real wide, real open, like almost cinematic in feel. Um, I'm really influenced by UFO culture and out there thoughts and things like that. So, but I really am just, I dive into music. I'm the producer's rapper, if that makes sense. So if you produce, like I'm your guy, like just plug me into your stuff. So, and I try to be that way with my own production for other rappers, other artists. So yeah, pretty atmospheric out there, cyberpunk stuff.
Do you are you performing live shows or most of your stuff like in the box producing stuff like just going straight to releases? Like how is that?
Yeah, so the shows are sporadic. I was doing quite a few shows leading into this opportunity. Took a break, kind of held back going into the Squid Game stuff. Definitely looking for gigs, trying to stay Midwest. You know, make my way to LA, even to the South, Texas area. So yeah, not really doing too many shows at the moment, but just kind of in the box right now, creatively, just making stuff, man. Always.
And remind like everyone like where are you out of? Where are you based out of?
So I am based out of the Midwest, Indianapolis, Indiana. That's where I'm at. I love the Midwest, love the 317, proudly from here. A lot of great artists have come from here. So I hope to be seen as one of them. And yeah, I'm proud to represent here, man.
Awesome. I mean, well, obviously, I mean, I think a lot of people, I mean, some people know at least who might be checking this out. I'm a musician and I run two nonprofits in Colorado. And then both of those nonprofits put on music festivals and also have venues. So if you're going to get out and get your music, I will help set up a show for you. And hopefully we can do a collab. So
Yeah.
I run this music festival. It's called Boulder Roots Music Festival. It's 180 bands. It's 17 stages. It's 3 days, 750 artists, and you're going to be one of them. That's going to be the end of August. So,
Let's go, man.
yeah,
Come on.
I know. And we're gonna,
See, thanks,
yeah,
man.
yeah, we're gonna blow that up. So that's gonna be an easy thing. We do hip hop showcases throughout. It's a multi-genre festival. So we'll work on that, and we'll announce this stuff later for people to stay in touch. But there'll be a whole collaboration.
Yes. 100% yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, so we got my project, New Base Theory. So we'll do something together with the both of us, and then people can find that as well. Let's see what else. Okay, before we end this, what player would you vote back in? They have this whole, and this might be by the time this is released, this will know who it is. But right now, as it stands, who would you vote back in?
Right now, as it stands, the player I would definitely vote back in would have to be my homegirl, Faith. That's player 361. She is just like one of the brightest, most loving personalities that I met within that game. We didn't get acquainted till much later in my journey in the game, but that woman right there has been through a lot. She deserves to be on the show. She deserves to be seen. So I would pick 361.
Awesome. And I noticed she was from Lane County, Oregon, which I lived in Eugene for like 8 years. And I didn't realize it until afterwards. I was like, oh man, I should talk to her. Okay, cool. Awesome.
Yeah, man.
So we talked about how people could find you.
Sir.
What other thing on that, what other part of the show that wasn't told? Like, if you could single out one thing out, like we talked about behind the scenes of the counting,
Yeah.
would you want to share just like something that you thought was cool, or like that, like a story that was untold? Anything that jumps
Um,
in?
Yeah, man. So I would like to share, like, I'd like to add some context to some of my decision making within there. So just want to highlight, player 409, initially giving her the coin and everything. It didn't get shown, but we'd had prior conversations, about basketball. She even had an injury that my brother had, I think a torn MCL. So there were conversations like that, more on the empathetic side, more on the relatable side. It's not shown our friendship. She seemed kind of off to herself. But just to highlight some of my decision making with giving her that power, that's where that came from. So unseen, untold, no beef or nothing, but just to shed some light into why I may have picked a person like that. So
Awesome. And then, they really did highlight you as like, hey, I'm done. I'm tired of like, being like, I imagine that was different too, a little bit than what they had there, huh?
yeah, so that is the third conversation that us hall monitors had over the course of an entire day. That is also, my opinion, is the third opinion. The two opinions before me are quite similar to mine. We're basically saying, like, we got friends in here, but going forward, like, we can't save them all. So just to highlight that a little bit. So I did say those words, but it's at the end, and it's at the also at the end of a long day. So
I bet. I was like, I know that's,
context there.
I know. I was like, that's not how that went.
Y'all know I don't talk like that, and it
Yeah.
kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But I didn't say I
Yeah.
don't speak like that, and I sure as heck didn't say what she said. I said,
Yeah. Yeah. Man,
really
I
not.
was sad to see you go that way. But,
Yeah, man.
but what's great about this is that not everyone will have the opportunity to take this and like channel it towards a creative adventure, or whatever that, how it could be a creative expression, a venture, or even a career bolstering, move for you. So I hope musically people find you from this, because what we don't necessarily want people to do is just find us for who we were on that show, and
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and that will be typically how people, I think, will want to seek someone. Oh, I attached that player on the show or whatever, I'm going to follow them. But we want them to kind of go deeper and be like, this person actually has something to offer for the world, and you're sharing creativity and expression, and that hopefully will supersede this moment of the reality game. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. It's my approach to it as well. Like, put things at the forefront, promote what we're doing, but the artistry comes first. So that's definitely, no, I've been shouting my song out a lot. I've been
Nice.
banging that.
I can't. I'm definitely. I hopefully you can tag that and share that with me. And then, so this will conclude like our portion of the interview. Everyone else that watches this, stay tuned, because we're going to be releasing some music, as we said earlier. Again, can you shout out your socials one more time, or the way people can find you? Are you on Spotify, anything like that?
Yeah, man, it's your boy Player 410. I go by the artist name Zeke, XEEK, exclamation mark, Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, anywhere you bump music, I'm there. Give me a spin. Check out that 410 single everywhere, man. You already know.
Okay, you heard it. This is
Sir.
Isiah Brooks, Player 410, and this is the Vibe Dialogue Podcast with your host, Jesse Ogle. We'll see you again next time. All right, that was a great episode we had with Isiah. I hope you got a little bit more insight into what he's doing as a musician and creative, and got to see his beauty as a human being. Again, for this channel to grow, just like, subscribe, and follow. That always helps. So until next time, we'll see you on the Vibe Dialogue Podcast for Creatives.